commercial cash crop because
Are you starting?
I am.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I'm starting now. So
Okay.
we're going to talk about hemp as a commercial cash crop, not as a recreational drug. I'm going to tell you about the history of it as a cash crop, the present, and the future as a cash crop of hemp. Now, starting with the history, the oldest known human relic ever discovered was a piece of hemp fabric from ancient Mesopotamia, 8000 BC it was dated. In 3727 BC, the oldest known medical text ever discovered in China has hemp listed as a superior herb. In 1492, when Columbus came over here, on his ship, the sails were all made from hemp. All the rigging, every piece of rope on the ship, all the caulking between the boards that kept it watertight was all made from hemp, and all their clothes were made from hemp. So basically, hemp throughout history has always been used for all kinds of stuff. And right here in America, when our country first started, according to Ken Picard, in his article in the 2007 magazine Cash Crop, said that George Washington once said that its seeds should be sown far and wide throughout the colony. And Thomas Jefferson said that was the first necessity to the wealth and prosperity of our nation. That's powerful stuff. Thomas Jefferson saying that growing pot was the first necessity to the wealth and prosperity of our nation. You know why? Because we wouldn't have had to rely on England. We wouldn't have had to gone through all that taxation without representation crap, right? Because we would have been able to produce everything we needed. We would have been wealthy and prosperous, right? But we didn't really do it. And in the late 30s, who came around but that, now we produced hemp throughout all that time, right here in the United States as a commercial crop. And late 30s, 1937, I think, DuPont and companies like that came out with synthetic fibers. They billed it as synthetic hemp, is what they called it. And they found out how to make paper from pulp instead of from hemp. It was cheaper, easier to do. So all these companies kind of took over hemp production because it was cheaper and easier to do. And so throughout most of the world, these other processes started to take over. And now, then they came up with a machine that made hemp processing fast, cheap, and easy. But here in the United States, they didn't go back to it. And my next thing is on www.hemphouse.com, hemphousemmaui.com, they have a list of countries that still, to this day, produce hemp in one form or another. And that's only a small part of the list. And so hemp still today is all over the world produced. Like France made 10,000 tons of hemp seed they exported last year to other parts of the world. Because hemp seed makes oil, things like that. And, you know, hemp makes over 25,000 consumer products. Can you believe that? You know, I always heard that you can make paper and rope and stuff like that, but once I started looking into this and researching it, the amount of material was way too much for this little speech like this. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. 25,000 different products are made from hemp around the world today, right now. But the future of hemp, the reason we're probably not going to see hemp come back here in the United States as a commercial crop is, look at these top ones: paint, plastic, textiles, fuel, paper, and building materials. Those are all made by the corporate giants, DuPont, even the steel industry, plastic. With hemp, they can make plastic that's lighter and stronger than steel. What do you think what kind of a threat that is to the steel industry? You know what I mean? All these paints, all this stuff is biodegradable. You know, all the green, everyone wants to go green and plastic's going to be around for 10,000 years. Well, plastic from hemp will biodegrade eventually. Everything biodegrades. It's a soil rejuvenator. When you plant with it, it rejuvenates the soil instead of stripping the soil of nutrients. How's that? And you get 2 crops a year instead of 1. But what we're running into is all these corporate giants. We're never going to be able to get past all these people these corporate giants that basically control everything, you know. So there it is. Hemp's been around. It's the most versatile plant in the whole world. It makes just about everything we could ever need. It does it without chemicals up in the air, without any toxic wastes at all. It rejuvenates the soil well. It does it. And countries all over the world are still doing it, but probably won't because of all the corporations. And now remember, this is an informative speech. I'm not urging any of you to go out there and start growing, okay? Thanks.